Hello, and welcome to the Game Developers Refuge podcast for Saturday, September 6th, 2008. This is episode 12. I'm your host, Jay, and with us today we've got Mike.
Hi.
Kenny.
Hey, guys.
And a newcomer, Jesse.
I don't know where I am.
You're here at the podcast, episode 12. Our first topic for today is going to be memory or resource management, and basically, what kind of methods that we use to make our lives easier in that respect, or what we don't do, So anyway, to start us off with that is going to be Kenny. So Kenny, do you do anything special, or?
No, when it comes to resource management, I'm usually kind of an asshole, and I just load everything. Usually when I initialize an application, I go ahead and I grab whatever resources I'm going to need. Fortunately, they're usually pretty minor. I mean, 2D games, 8-bit palettes and a bunch of other crap. It's not like a ton of memory, but I usually go ahead and just preload everything shotgun style. I'll go ahead and load all the graphics and then, process anything that's procedurally generated that I want to store. Go ahead and load all the music, all the sound effects. I'll go ahead and index them properly so that I know how to get to what I want, when the time comes, the occasion for using it. The only thing that I don't load that I'll just kind of get on demand is if I have, maps or large data structures or things like that just don't need to be floating around in memory where they could get corrupted by some of my crappy code or some bugs. But I just keep track of what I've loaded, and when it comes time to unload it, I just do it. I mean, I hate to be so boring, but I don't really get into anything special about resource management.
Yeah, so once you've loaded all that stuff, up front, do you ever unload anything, or is it just kind of everything you need for the entire run of the game is just there, and you can just use it immediately?
Yeah, when I first started doing Phoenix Blade, like way back when, Moses sailed around and shit,
mm-hmm.
I was actually being really aggressive about memory usage, and, my target system was something incredibly archaic, like an old Pentium 100 with 4 megs of RAM, so I was loading exactly what I needed, and what I didn't compensate for was the fact that, by the time the game was done in 2015 or whatever, people are going to be running around on these friggin' supercomputers that have gigs of RAM. And so when I started on my next project, I said, I don't need to be this anal retentive about resource management because, for example, the current project that I'm working on, Cry Havoc, with everything loaded, every last damn thing, every resource I have, every map, everything, and the whole program and all the maps and the color tables and all that crap, it's only measly 23 megs.
Nice.
So, I mean, I procedurally generate a ton of content, and the rest of it I just load. So as long as I keep with this particular, design model, I'm pretty much never going to mess with it.
So
now, if I get to the point, I'm sorry to interrupt. I was going to say if I get to the point where I'm doing 3D games and I got to load, hundreds and hundreds of megs of textures or something, then yeah, we're definitely going to revisit the topic.
Yeah. Are you using Allegro for Cry Havoc?
Yeah, still.
Are you using data files?
No. Call me stupid, but I've never actually liked the way that the data files and the pack files were done.
Uh-huh.
I'm just quirky like that, so I actually have my own type of data file type shit that I wrote a long time ago.
Because I feel like a lot of when you're brought into the world of Allegro, a lot of users or a lot of tutorials or whatever just have you sort of do the load everything route up front, because that's what I have been used to using Allegro. It's you create your data files and it's like, oh, I have a data file with all the tile sets. I'll just load it and then I can use them whenever I want. And I think that kind of gets you into the mentality of the load everything scheme. But I don't know. I feel like that's kind of an Allegro thing, but it could just be me.
I could actually see that. The only thing that kept me away from doing that was I tried using the data files once, and I was just pissy about it. I didn't like the way that it made the code look and the stuff I had to do to actually get the data out of it. And
casting.
Yeah. So other than that, but yeah, it was always my thing to just go ahead and load the resources that you need to load and just have them there available. And if you get to the point where you're on a more resource limited type system, like your target system is really close to what you're loading, you have to be more conscientious about that and then start swapping things out, and
Yeah.
But I've had the luxury of never really running into that situation in the last 10 years or so.
Yeah, I think when dealing with 2D games, none of us really have to deal with that unless it's, I don't know, something fancy that uses a bunch of OpenGL and textures and blah, blah, blah. But even so, most
Like
systems...
a monkey game.
Like your monkey game, yeah.
But
That's really nice. I don't have to worry about.
Most systems these days come with at least, like, what, a gig now? 512?
Yeah.
Most systems ship with a gig. If you buy something from Dell or eMachine or whatever, it's just going to typically ship with a gig.
Yeah, so I don't think there's much for us to worry about.
Well, except for, like, Vista taking up 800 megs of RAM when you boot or some shit like that.
Yeah, Vista will do that to you. Trust me, I have it installed, and it's...
So it seems clear that Vista isn't using very good resource management.
Well, it's just using a lot of resources to do fancy things if you've got it turned on, which look very pretty, but can be a bit superfluous. But, you know, OS X has a bunch of that, too. So, Mike, do you do anything fancy?
No, I'm pretty much the same as Mr. Sirocco over there. I load it all at the start. I keep the data files external for my levels, and, there you go. If you don't have enough memory, well, why are you still running 486?
Most independent game developers that claim to be indie game developers, don't they typically use a suite like Multimedia Fusion or something like that to make their games? That I've seen personally. Like if you go to the Daily Click, everybody uses Game Factory or Multimedia Fusion.
A lot of people use that stuff. I know a lot of people who also use the crap is it called Unity. There are other people who use Torque, and to be honest, I have no idea what those things offer in terms of memory management.
I was going to say is most people don't even have to worry about it in this field because it's something that's inherent to the program they're using. If it's a rapid application development, that you know what I'm saying?
That's actually a really good point.
Yeah.
For most people like that, it's taken care of for you.
I have to worry about peek and poke and things like that, and it's a hassle really.
I don't know. I've actually never tried any of those. I've looked a little bit at XNA, but I don't know what that offers in terms of memory management for you. To be honest, I couldn't say.